Jules, ladies and gentlemen. Poch, I know you have a lot to say about this guy.
Yeah, you know what? He's the Jin ng Pinas. He has been wreaking havoc in all these tournaments using his Jin. Win rate 47%, total picks of 4. Bob, Jin, Claudio. I think you should add another slide here for Marduk, because he has been doing really well. We have brought it up before that, you know, this online setting may not favor him as much, but you know what? These Omegas, he is the iron wall of Omega. Let's see if his defense will let up against the King of Mandaluyong.
All right, now what's interesting to me is that I believe that Jules is gonna go for the Bob pick this time around, or maybe, you know, I think it's likely that he's gonna go for the Jin. He's gonna need the comeback factor. He's gonna need all the points, and man, the points shall be granted to him if he does manage to perform really well. And I think it's gonna be a Jin in this case. Watch, Watch, what do you think?
Yeah, a Jin would be great. Also, it could warm him up towards the playoffs. And you know, if you're put in a tough spot as Jules is in right now, you want to go with Old Reliable. And Jin has brought him so much success in previous tournaments, especially that dab. Ha ya ha. Jules going for that dab. And you know what? I wanna just set the stage for this match, ladies and gentlemen. This match is gonna be a dogfight. These two players are not in the top 8. Jules is so close to the top 8, he can taste it, even though his brother is gatekeeping. So this match is gonna, they're gonna pull out all the stops because Jules needs the points. So does RakEnRoL. So one has to come out on top.
I'm not entirely sure if I could just look at the standings right now. Pika will maintain 17 points. I'm not sure.
Yes,
Maybe,
17.
Yes, okay. 17 points. And Jules, if he wins all of his matches today, he will overtake his own brother.
Yeah, Pika is a sitting duck at top 8 right now. So all eyes are now on Mouts, Jules, Don Argus, who are in contention for that spot, since Pika will not be moving in the points today. Like, he has to wait for the next Nationals Day for him to try to catch up. But right now, all eyes are on Jules because, yeah, he is the first in contention for that top 8 spot.
Yeah, and continuing on to the standings, the point of the standings, it's gonna be even worse for Pika if Mouts wins all of his matches today. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a ride for the next few days of the Nationals. But today we will be focusing on Jules. Again, 15 points, is standing there. He's just a few points shy away from top 8, and he's gonna need all the comfort that he needs. Then the comfort will be into the hands of Jin. Now, Jin versus King matchup. How do you think this is gonna go, Poch?
Well, I know Jules' classic defensive style would come into play here. I think the win factor for RakEnRoL would be how he was able to do it before. He was really able to catch him off his grabs. So if he's able to present that and really be able to enforce that, he, you know, mix him up with some of these grabs, it's gonna go in favor of RakEnRoL. But this is Jules we're talking about. He's a wall of defense.
Yeah, that's also one thing, you know. Jules is okay.
Oh wow, we were talking up a storm, but we didn't realize he has a paw, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, this is so weird. Jules has never pulled out a Paul even in season 1. The only Pauls that we've seen in the Nationals are either AK or J Disaster. Right now, though, this is Jules.
Yes, I did hear whispers from, I don't know, a little birdie told me he does have a Paul, which is crazy, and now he's bringing it out. And when I said he's going to pull out all the stops, he's bringing the big guns, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly, and let's see. Starts off the round with an up back 2, pushing slowly RakEnRoL to that wall.
Let's see if RakEnRoL be phased, because, I mean, RakEnRoL had some Paul Nightmares going up against AK. Oh, nice ducks it, but he was ready, splats him at the wall, and that's a death fist on the side of Jules. 1-0.
If this was the season 1 back 1-2, that wouldn't have wall splat. But again, it worked in favor of Jules. The back 1-2 just did a ballerina splat, and once again, it wall splat him so hard, and it went in favor of Jules.
Just when we thought he found comfort in Jin, this Demolition Man of Swords, nice dog, and Jules gets 2-0. This Demolition Man is doing a lot of damage and a lot of cleanup, and Jules really making a statement that he wants to get into that top 8, picking Paul, this damage beast.
Yeah, that was a perfect statement, Poch. Making a statement. This is the introduction that Jules needs, and of course, rocking that green alternative outfit for Jules representing Smart Omega. SEO.RakEnRoL again. He is slowly chipping Jules away just outside of range. So there it is. This is gonna be it.
Oh wow! All right, rock and roll, gaining a bit of the momentum. Maybe he weathered out the early storm of Jules. He's able to get the timing down. But let's see. Jules can always turn up the defense and just see what moves rock and roll will throw out. Excellent stuff here.
The thing about Jules and his defense is that he's using Paul. I don't think Paul is ever meant to be played defensively. I think you should go all out on this character.
For the most effective damage, yes, for sure.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, and look at that. Jules, as you were saying that Paul's meant to be played offensively, he turned the gear up to 7 and just brought the fight to rock and roll. So wow. Dominant so far. Even though rock and roll is able to gain 1 round over Jules' Paul. Shocker for me, personally. Like I know the community knows that he has a Paul, but this is the first time he's brought Paul into the Nationals.
And I was starting to think, Jules might have thought of picking up Jin in this matchup because again, the grab threat that rock and roll has as a king player, that's always there, that's always present. He might want to keep out with the F4. But you know what? Screw that. Jules might have heard me and went for the Paul pick instead. And I won. Personally, I never knew that Jules had a Paul pick.
Well, that's the one way to counter the grabs. If you get a death fist, if there's a constant threat of a death fist, I don't want to come near you then.
Exactly, and he only pulled out the death fist in that game, which was an ender of the round. And I'm looking forward to seeing even more death fists in this game. 3 death fists to end an entire game. Who would think? Who would dare to think?
I can hear one of our fellow casters freaking out where he's at right now. There's another Paul in the Nationals. Let's go. So what a surprise. What a shocker. Day number 8, full of surprises. Even though we're winding down and it is the road to the playoffs. Jules, really bring out the Paul, shocking everyone. I believe even rock and roll might have been a bit taken aback with that pick.
Yeah, exactly. And man, I am so excited. This isn't just a day full of surprises. It's actually an entire season full of surprises. So, we thought Hapon would just stick with the Eddie pick because he's known as the best Eddie in the Philippines, but no, he has a Leroy. Everyone has a Leroy. He has a Geese. Maru, we thought we were just gonna stick with the Kazumi, but instead, picks something else. Picks Ana. Picks a lot of other characters that we never knew that he was gonna pick.
Yeah, this format really it forces these players to be creative and to formulate new game plans because these are the top players in the Philippines. So they've been playing each other for so long. So that's why they got to pull out different characters, different strats. And Jules bring out the Paul. I'm pretty sure he's making a statement saying to everyone that, hey, I got a Paul. You got to respect this.
Now Jules contesting a lot of these frames from rock and roll. Look at him backdashing away. He knows the threat of the Demo Man and the Death Fist.
This is probably the most offensive I've seen Jules try to go for something. So because we've built him up as the shield, the iron wall of Smart Omega, and he's really just taking the damage to rock and roll.
Yeah, he's acting as the spear this time around. No shield for you, good sir. I'm going offensive. Rock and roll does not go for the guaranteed back turn 3. Jules right now gonna punish that accordingly.
And now looking for something big. And again, with Paul, you never want to blink. Nice duck on the high there. And rock and roll. Oh, wow! Missed that. And both of them now are in rage. Oh, rock and roll spends it early. Catches him moving in. And Jules able to secure this first round.
Yeah, I think that was a very good observation from Jules. He's been observing rock and roll a lot. That rock and roll, whenever he would spend Rage Drive Raw, he would press a button immediately afterwards. So that was a very good answer to the aggression. He would go for the Rage Art, and that was that.
Yeah, even though he's playing very offensively, he's still a very high IQ oriented player, as in he's the big brain on Jules, really just calculating and measuring his mark. Oh wow, finishes as a string. Oh, nice break on the Shining Wizard. And he was able to use that movement to the 2-hit, and now he closes out that round. Jules one round away for getting 3 points.
Yeah, that was a good calculated risk for Jules. He went for that knowing it was minus 13, but rock and roll can only punish with the while standing 4. He doesn't really have a launcher to come with that. So very good option select for Jules. You can see him sidestepping a lot.
Yes.
Rock and roll is struggling, ladies and gentlemen.
The movement on Jules is on point, but rock and roll with the duck of his own, and now tries to answer back, breaks the suplex. Still, you know, just standing toe-to-toe with each other, exchanging blows. 30 seconds left on the clock, kid.
Right now, Jules is outside of range though. Tries to go for that, you know, jumping back hop kick. Cheeky stuff coming in from him. RakEnRoL is trying to catch him with back one counter hits, but slowly but surely he's being chipped away. No break on this. Is he gonna be dead right here? No, he breaks that throw. Very good, very good.
Spends.
Is it gonna be? It's gonna be.
Careful, Jules. Oh, finishing the demo. And he punished that. Wow, RakEnRoL was ready. And now it's a game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how RakEnRoL bounced back. Neutral hop kick. RakEnRoL didn't bite.
Yeah, that was really dangerous because if a Death Fist is blocked or a Demo Man is blocked, RakEnRoL can just easily punish with forward 2-1. So Jules isn't reckless about that. Let's see though. What's the adjustment?
And now RakEnRoL trying to go for that counter hit shove. Testing the defense of Jules, but Jules not letting up. They really wanted to stand toe-to-toe, fish for something big. Wow, this is Tekken, kid.
Yeah, good display of movement and control for both of these guys, but slowly but surely the control is in Jules' hands. Good break on that throw. A lot of these players are gonna go. Is this gonna be an RDC punch?
Oh, no, okay. Continues the damage. Watch out, Jaguar steps. And now Jules, yes. And now Jules in the red. Oh, he gets a giant swing though.
That was a very good mix-up. It looked like he was gonna go for a point-blank Shining Wizard, but no, the giant swing to mix him up, and Jules is being opened up again. The Iron Wall defense is also the spear.
Yes. RakEnRoL trying to find the cracks and the holes in the defense of Jules. Again, trying to shove. Wow, big counter hit. And look at this, RakEnRoL finding his mark and really making sure he capitalizes on it.
Right. Again, RakEnRoL is getting a lot of success from these grabs right now. Very good throw. Oh, I would have gotten hit by that Jules right now. Just low health and a jab to finish it off. RakEnRoL comes back in game 2.
We have ourselves a game, kid. That was back and forth. I really thought Jules was gonna 2-0 RakEnRoL, but RakEnRoL finding the rhythm of Jules' Paul. Now the question is, will he still stick with the Paul?
I wonder that too. I mean, I believe this is the first game 3 that we've had today, Poch. What do you think?
Yes, actually, if I look at my notes. Yep, that is the first game 3. Wow, it's gonna be everyone was going on overdrive for Vermilion Doge, and now RakEnRoL and Jules. Again, I told you it was gonna be a dogfight, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are hungry for some points, and they want to make a statement in the nationals. Now, yeah. So going back, will Jules go for the character pick or stick with Paul and go for a walled stage?
I think the most optimal choice would have to be going for a walled stage. It does really work out well in Paul's favor, especially with that fist ender for big characters. You know, down forward 1 into the jab, into the death fist. I believe it works on King because King can be considered a big. However, if Jules does want to go for a higher chance of win, I think he should go for a Jin pick or maybe even a Bod.
The comfort picks, right? This is his wild card pick, his trump card pick, and now that actually that makes sense. If RakEnRoL did catch wind of how he plays Paul, maybe he'd want to mix him up and go for the Jin or Bob, since he's not acclimated to the timing of those characters. Only time will tell, kid. Here we go, loading screen.
Yeah, and it really served the purpose. That infinite stage really did him well because he was just backdashing away. He denied him the clean hits of the Demo Man and also the pressure from that wall. So all the space that he needed and all the space to just move around. RakEnRoL, very good choice on that one. However, he will be denied that infinite stage because Jules is going for the Violet Systems.
Yeah, a pretty long stage. Let's see how the wall carry game of Jules will be with this Paul. And this is the first I'm casting his Paul match, so it's a treat for everyone to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I want to see more Death Fist. I want to see more RDCs in this game. Quite the entertainment matches that we've seen, Poch, and I love it.
Yep, Trooper Roll misses, and RakEnRoL just getting some chip damage there. Now RakEnRoL, gets the shove. And now, wow, tried to go for that leap, and now look at this. Jules finds the wall and makes sure he capitalizes on it.
And he attempts that giant swing again. This is going to be a guaranteed. Is this dead? Oh my goodness, RakEnRoL, you are a beast.
Wow. He just turned the tides just like that. That big elbow drop. And now Jules. You know what? This is the first time Rock and Roll is an advantage in this matchup. So let's see if he can run away with this.
Yeah, it's exactly one of the few things that I've said here at the Nationals, that if you put a Paul into Rage, BBP has the advantage. But the same thing can be said about King. If
That's
you
true.
don't want to give him the advantage that he needs, that Rage and that shove is such a good combination.
Oh, watch out. Now Rock and Roll now in Rage. Oh, gets the palm there, goes for the down one ender. And look at that, ends the round.
No breathing room for you, good sir. Jules takes it immediately, answers back.
Smothering offense from both these players. Wow, gets the magic 4. Catches him off the air, actually, I think. And now 10 seconds left. Life is almost about even. Wow, gets the tackle. Armbar.
Bit of a Tekken 5 combo earlier for Jules right there, but again, sidestep into QCB2. That could have been a hop kick punish, but unfortunate for Rock and Roll, he could not react early enough. Now he's up against the wall. He does have Rage though. Jules has to be careful. Do not press any buttons. The shove pressure is there, but again, the QCB 4, the back sway 4 will finish it off.
Yep, and now we've seen this before in the Infinite Azure. Jules is up to one. We need one more match to finish it off, but can he do it? Gets a significant life lead in the early seconds. Wow, catches him while he's getting up, and now Rock and Roll has to try to salvage what he can with what little life he has left.
Right, Rock and Roll lower than half health. Very good sidestep from Jules. He puts Rock and Roll up against the wall, looking for that down forward 1 pressure. Gets hit by that counter hit down forward 2. Does not go for the hard combo. Rage is spent. Instant giant swing broken by Jules. Now he does still have a lot of health left, but he gets caught out of the air, and Jules will take it.
2-1 against Rock and Roll. Look at that. Jules with Paul. If you told me today that, oh yeah, Jules is gonna pick Paul, I'd be like, are you sure about that? But wow. All right.